Hello the internet! It is Saturday the 4th of December 2021 and welcome back to the channel. Saturday the 4th of December, what a year it's been, what a time. This is the 4th day of summer in Australia, although it doesn't really feel like it. In fact, I don't even think we had spring. Spring came, spring went, and now summer's here. Doesn't feel like summer at all. It's windy, it's rainy, it's cold, it's miserable. La Nino. I think it's La Nino, not El Nino, La Nino is kicking through on the east coast of this country. That's the fact. Hey, in the chat, I see Perdsky. Hello, I said hello the internet. Perdsky, I'm popping out to take a pickup, to pick up a takeaway, to take a pickup. Perdsky's picking up a takeaway. Pah! He says, if I'm not back in time to see some of your stream, have a good one. Thank you, Perdsky. Cheers, my friend. I'll give you a little cheers' earses. There's one for you, Perdsky. I might see on the flip side, I said, Aero Gamer. Now, is that Dougsky or is that Doug's son, Aero Gamer? How you doing? Hey, Gives and Givers. Nice here in Melbourne, but stuck at work. So that would be Dougsky shunting away. Well, folks, here's the thing. I would like to offer this position, this stream, to anybody who has anything on their mind that they would like to get off their mind. If you've got something that's bugging you and you think, hey, getting that out on the internet would be the best course of action, maybe I'll direct it at Gives a Minute, maybe I'll direct it at his audience, or maybe I'll just come on and vent. I'm giving you this opportunity to do this here on this stream. We do this often on D-Live, of which I am streaming to. Hello, D-Live. I'm also streaming to Trovo, Twitch, and Twitter. Just put this out there as far as I can. But this stream is actually a YouTube stream. So if you want to come in on this stream, come into the YouTube chat, have a bit of a chinwag with us, and say, I want to come in, and I'll deliver you the link. As long as you've got a camera and some Kansas and a microphone, you're good to chat. You can just use a phone. It's better if you have a headset though, but you can just use a phone and blah, blah, blah. Hey, you don't even have to have a camera. If you want to just come in just as a... what am I opening myself up to here? Here's the thing. When we do this on D-Live, we stipulate that you must be a subscriber to the channel. So you must subscribe to my Gives a Minute D-Live. But I feel like here on YouTube, that's not really a thing. Like you can subscribe. I'd love you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't have to. But what I'm saying is there's no... I guess on D-Live, you've got to pay for that. Here, you don't have to pay for it, so you can just come in and have a chit-chat, and doesn't matter if you want to help out the channel or not. I'm offering it to you to see if you want it. It's not about me wanting you to talk to me. It's about giving you the space to vent or to get things off your chest on my stream. Now, of course, I will be censoring it if you start ranting and raving about, you know, things that YouTube sort of, well, let's just say don't really agree with, then I will have to do the thing and mute you off. But if you've got... This is where this comes from. I used to work in a restaurant as a chef, pizza cook. Still do work there sometimes. I guess you could say that. I may be working there this week, maybe. Who knows? And you may see it as a stream. And in that restaurant, I worked with a Croatian guy, Ante. Hello, Ante, if you're watching. And if anybody knows Ante, say I said hello and tell... Actually, don't say anything to him because I want to surprise him this week. I'll be in South Australia this week. In that restaurant, you know, when you work with other people, chefs and cooks and wait staff and bar staff, etc., 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 everybody has, let's just call it their own take on things. Everybody has... Well, everybody's an individual, and often individuals clash. Often people don't get along. There was one particular woman that I didn't get along with at all, and it wasn't just me, but I can tell you me and her really didn't get along, but she didn't get along with many people. Hello, Rhonda, if you're watching. It's all been fixed over the years, but it was pretty heavy. And Ante got talking about this is a side story, but one of the things he said when I was complaining about something that she did He said, no, I said, it's like talking to a brick wall. And he's Croatian with a bit of a lisp, and he said, it's worse than that, man. It's worse than that, because at least with a brick wall, you can knock it down and rebuild it. You can't do anything with her. And so that's kind of where this conversation started from. It was like, and it was Ante's idea. He sort of said, oh, wouldn't it be good if you could, like, you know, like just go somewhere and like let it all out and have no effect on your job. Like because you know you got to work with her tomorrow, but if you spark up now and then she's gonna come in tomorrow and it's gonna keep going. But wouldn't it be good if we could like go for a drive, maybe an hour down the coast, and just get into a big field and just let it out, like get it all out, let it out, and then when you get back in the car, you can't talk about it again. It's I guess he was watching Fight Club. I guess he had that on his mind. It's like, let's do a let it out, like a Fight Club thing. We'll go down and we'll just get it all off your chest. We even had a name for it. We called it the Let It Out Farm. We were going to do it. We actually did invite some of the staff. Of course, everybody thought we were mad. Nobody ever did it. We didn't even do it, but we had the idea of doing it. That's what I think these kind of streams could be. If you need to let it out about anything at all, this is a place where you can do that. You can just let fly. And I was going to say no repercussions. That's not exactly accurate. Of course, there'd be repercussions if you started to tell us, for instance, you'd committed a murder or something. There'd have to be repercussions. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to illustrate that this is here for you. I tweeted this out. I also put out on Facebook, and I am live on DLive. Thinking the reason behind going live on DLive, even though this is a YouTube stream, the idea behind that was because sometimes there's things that... Ignore those noises. The house is just settling in the wind. Psst, there is no wind. What was the noise then? Don't worry about it. There are sometimes things that you can't talk about on a particular platform. So there might be rules. For instance, one of the rules on DLive is I can't give someone who's banned from DLive the space to come on and start talking on my show because they're banned from DLive. You can't slide under the ban hammer through someone else's channel. But if you're on DLive and if you're watching with a, let's call it an alt account, we know there's plenty of those, this is the chance for you to come on YouTube and have the chat. And what I would do, I would then cut the DLive. If you were saying, well, I'm one of those people on DLive that is banned or whatever, and I want to have a chat about something, you can come over here on YouTube and hit me and do it, but we'll kill it on DLive. So we're not breaching any terms. That's what I'm trying to do here. Aerogamer says it is senior. So that is Dugsky. Well, I hope you have a pleasant morning at the work there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long we'll chat for. I don't even know if anybody will take this up. People might not. People be like, dude, that's the stupidest idea ever. You think we? And by the way, you can be anybody, right? I don't even have to know you. You can just be. You could be a random YouTuber and say, dude, I've never seen your channel, but here you are live and you're expressing that you want to have a chat about something. Come on, I don't care. I'll chat with you. I'll talk with you. While we wait to see if that even happens, I will do what we've been doing for the last 10, 11 now. This is the 12th day. So we did a stream here. Hang on, how can that be? Oh, yeah. I was going to say we did a stream here last Saturday, and we've now taken 12 of these in 7 days. That's not true because we'd already started taking them before. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but this product, I'm 46 and I've got little prostate issues. Not cancer, just nocturia. I'm awake thrice a night, taking a slash, waking up out of my dreamland to go to the bathroom, take a whiz, come back, go back to sleep. 4 hours goes past, got to go to the bathroom again, that kind of crap. And that's been bugging me my whole life. This is a natural remedy. There are certain things, certain properties in certain food groups that have been proven to fight. What it is swelling of the prostate, squeezes your urethra, squeezes the Aretha Franklin, no R-E-S-P-E-C-T at that point, and that closes up your urethra, making your bladder remain half full. I got this. Anyway, it's all been diagnosed. I've been to this ultrasound, all that crap. What we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce the size of the prostate with this product. people are saying this product's a scam. A lot of reports say there's nothing in this. It's just all a big load of bollocks. So I bought a 90-day course, 90 capsules, and we're cranking them out every day on the stream. We normally do it on DLive, but I'm going to crank one here right now. This is day 12. 10 in a capsule, 1 missing from this. 10 in a slate, 1 missing from this one. Day 12, blue pill, red pill, green pill. Hey, the crypto team, how you doing, man? Major lockdowns in Australia. Let me bring up the chisel chat so we can all play along. There aren't any lockdowns right now, dude. No lockdowns in Australia. Well, not in New South Wales. And I'm about to go into state Tuesday. Let me just pop this pill and then I'll happily talk to you about that. Oh, I'm going to sneeze now, aren't I? Dude, I touched my nasal passage and now I got to sneeze. Hey, it's gone. Where do they go at that point? When you need to sneeze and suddenly it's gone? It's not like a poo. When you're about to do a poo and you hold off because you know when you're in a bathroom, you can kind of suck it back up into the chamber. With a sneeze, it doesn't go back up. It just disappears. Weird. It's like the sneeze that happened, but you didn't sneeze. Anyway, let's not delay any longer. Blue pill down. All right, so that's day 12. And there obviously will be a bunch of days of this that you'll miss because I'll be interstate doing... I've got to work while I'm over there, right? So I've got the jobs, but I will be streaming, but not every day. So you'll see that there'll be some of that. You'll be like, oh, I never saw you take that one, dude, because I didn't do it on stream. But I will be doing it. And I always keep these down here just to remind me that it needs to be done on the stream. In the chat, John C. How you doing, John? How are Claudia and Baxter? They're very well. I saw them not last week, this time 2 weeks ago. Claudia did my hair. Great haircut. I gotta just do the back a little bit. The little bum fluff needs to be trimmed up a little, but she did a good job as per usual. And yeah, they're good. So the crypto team, good questions, dude. What did you say? You said major lockdowns in Aussie, and I said no. The word is you must have the jab there to go anywhere in public. Now, there are definitely things that jabbed can do and jabbed can't. Actually, that's true as well. There are definitely things that unjabbed can't do and jabbed can do. So, for instance, I'm about to go into state for a job, and if I wasn't double vaxxed, I wouldn't be able to go. Just flat out wouldn't be able to do it. So the travel restrictions are for those unvaxxed, for sure. John, which state of the US will you be visiting later this month? No. Interstate Australia, John. I'm in Australia. I'll be going from the East Coast, from New South Wales to South Australia, which ironically isn't south, it's west. Go figure. It's slightly south, but it's mostly west. South Australia, it's not... I already live in New South Wales, but there's even further south, and it's not south. Australia. So yeah, not US, but just on that note, I mean, I don't mind talking about the C word. I don't think YouTube likes us talking about it, but I thought we were allowed to express ourselves here. Be you, right? Oh, by the way, please don't forget to smash the like button. Ring that bell for all notifications, and dang, YouTube. I'm just trying to be a YouTuber, right? Well, you can't see the dislikes anyway, so just smash the like. I mean, I can't even see the dislikes. Check this out. If I go over to YouTube, that's weird, dude. What? I can't even see the dislikes. This is me logged into YouTube. This is me in the YouTube browser, and I can't even see the dislikes. So yeah, thank you for the like there, whoever just clicked that one. Cheers. I don't know why I can't see dislikes, but there it is. Crypto team, I believe in freedom of choice, but you care sharing what made you get the jab. I'm with you too, crypto team. By the way, do we know each other? Do we know from DLive crypto streams? What made me get the jab? So it's pretty simple. Family. The family pressure. So two things. First of all, family, definitely. So families split here in different areas, and if I didn't get jabbed, then the family couldn't come here and I couldn't go there. So at that point, someone had to make a decision. Do you want to be separated from your family or not? Of course you don't. The other thing, which wasn't really a factor at the time of getting jabbed, but definitely came as, I'm going to use the term, an advantage. Let's call it an advantage of getting jabbed. It's not really, it's just basic freedoms. But yeah, when this job came up, this is a job that I've done, I guess this will be my third time. So what this job is, it's a photo shoot. And so a friend of mine, hello James, if you're watching, he has a business in South Australia where he installs playground equipment. So really, and not just like seesaws and slippery dips like when I'm 46, when we were kids. This is like playground equipment on steroids, like massive super slides and big spinning things and flying foxes and crap. So he books me to photograph his playground equipment. It used to be once a year, but since COVID, we haven't actually done it since 2018. And he was talking to me, oh man, we've got to get you back over here to do this thing. It's been a while and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but COVID. And then I'm like, but wait a second, I'm about to get my second jab. And he's like, yeah, you'll be good then. All you got to do is, I got to get a test tomorrow before I leave. And then I got to get a test upon arrival at the airport. And of course you've got to track everything wherever you go. So the advantage, let's call it, of getting jabbed is that I can take this job and go and do it. So James, my client, is happy. I'm stoked. At one point he was saying, oh, do you recommend a photographer in Adelaide we could use? And I'm like, that's like saying, can I give you the keys to my, can you sleep in my bed? Like, I want to do, it's my job. I got that. That's my gig and you like my work. I want to do it. So I'm like, the only one I could think of, Andre, if you ever see my content, I don't think Andre watches it. I used to use him. We used to work together, wedding photography. He's really good with off-camera light. He actually taught me most of my off-camera lighting. And so I would recommend him, but I didn't, and I don't want to because I want the job. So what I'm saying is there's a benefit of getting jabbed that I could go and do the job. Of course, now that there's the other variant, the that thing, right? That may change everything. And it's right now, like, I mean, it's literally right now when this is popping off. I may find I'll get to the airport and they'll be like, oh, things have changed in the last 24 hours, dude. You can't fly. And I'll be like, but I got the jab. I got the jab. Give me the plane. I got the jab. How many dislikes have you seen? I don't see any, dude. That's the thing. I don't see a single dislike. I mean, I don't see any of them. I thought I'd be able to see that. That's weird, right? Or why not fight against it? Yeah, I think I explained it. There's no like. Here's the other thing. Like, if you're gonna fight against it, oh crikey, if you're gonna fight against it, you got to be willing to go the whole way, right? That probably includes like a fine. You're probably going to get fined. You're probably going to do jail time. You're definitely not going to see your family, and you're definitely not going to go interstate. So how much? First of all, I think it's all a bit of a scam. I think it's not as bad as it's made out, and I think I think it's all phony. And I've seen reports where, you know, our government didn't approve a locally made one, but let the Americans come in. It's all about money, right? But as much as I know that, and I believe that it's all a bit of a fake scam, I'm not willing to go to jail for it. I'm not willing to sacrifice my family for it, and I'm not willing to give up a job for it. You might be willing to spend time in prison, pay a hefty fine, lose all your freedoms, remove yourself from your family, possibly lose your job. I'm not that interested in it. We've only got a tiny amount of time on this planet. I want to go surfing. I want to go interstate. I want to do the things. And if that means getting a phony thing shoved in my arm, bring it on. What I don't agree with is that now they're probably going to talk about adding more jabs and more boosters and more crap because of these variants. And I don't believe it. But like I said, you can believe it or you don't. But where are you going to draw the line? How are you going to equate this in your own life? Do I want to go behind bars? Nah. Get the jab. Well, when was the first time you met up with James? That's a good question. So James has always been... So James is a musician, a drummer. I guess... That's a really good question. I'm gonna say... I reckon James and I know each other just before... So I did a photo shoot with his band Burn Collect. It was either before I'd met Tracer or just after. That's a very good question. I don't know the exact answer. I feel like, and James could clarify, but I feel like I shot their band at the Enigma Bar. Maybe they played with Tracer? I remember Tracer played the Enigma Bar a long time ago. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good. I mean, I got all the photos so I could look at the dates and stuff like the metadata, but I'm really bad with memory. My memory is just... Last night we did the Faith No More cap game on D-Live, and I genuinely forgot that War Pigs, the Black Sabbath cover, was an actual track on the real thing. I thought they only ever did War Pigs live as like a kind of like Easy. They did the Commodore's Easy, right? But they did release that as a like an official studio recording, and they tacked it onto the end of Angel Dust. But I never... Well, I did know, but I'd forgotten that War Pigs was part of the real thing. And I was looking at the Wikipedia, and it's like, there was a comment where it said on the vinyl issue of the real thing, War Pigs was taken off or was removed or not included. And I was thinking, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Does that mean it was only on the cassette version? Because it wasn't on the CD version either. And then then the song came on random, and I was like, of course, man. So what I'm illustrating at that point, my memory is terrible. That was a huge record back in the day, and I couldn't recall that song was even on there. You've seen one of my crypto streams. Okay, thank you, crypto. Thank you, dude. And what crypto are you into? What's your coin that you follow? John, I miss flying to a city far away since the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people miss it. Revelations. You got a Bible verse there? Let's go and have a look what that is. Revelations 13. Is this how you search for it? 16 to 18. I guess that's how you search for it. Okay, I'll read this out. I'm not going to get copyright dinged for reading the Bible verses, am I? Crikey, that'd be the day, wouldn't it? Let's read this. It says, it also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. And Revelations... Oh, you want me to read 18 as well? This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. Isn't that full on? So I guess what you're saying, or the parallels you're drawing, is that the jab is the mark. That's a bit of a stretch, because we've had jabs forever. Like I mean, think about when I was a kid. I remember getting the for the measles, chickenpox we call it in Australia. So this is not what that's referring to. I mean, is it? I don't think it is, because I mean, if that's true, then we also have to have the water into the wine and all that stuff. So I don't take that take that as you will. You've got another one there, Revelations 14:9. Let me take that one too. Revelations 4, I guess I can search in this search bar, right? Revelations 14:9. I didn't think we'd be doing Bible verses here, but this is cool. This one says, a third angel. I know it says angel, I just say angle to be silly. A third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, click here to read more. Is that what this is? There's a comma there. Read the full chapter. What is it again? Revelations 14:9. Okay, and a third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, comma, new verse. Really, at that point? They, comma, two, comma. Wow, who wrote this? Look at all the commas. That's crazy amount of commas. Okay. If anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on their forehead or on their hand, they too will drink the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment will rise forever and ever. This is charming. There will be no rest day or night for those who worship the beast and its image, or anyone who receives the mark of its name. Are you still on the angel of that? This is the jab. This is not what they're referring to, dude. This is a big stretch. You're stretching. You got to stretch, and you're stretching it and stretching it and stretching it and stretching it. That's a huge stretch, dude. That's a huge stretch. Getting humans ready for the metaverse. There sure is a bunch of surfing on the channel. What is better, you or Bethany Hamilton? Who is better? Is Bethany Hamilton that surfer with she lost her arm to a shark bite? I think that's Bethany Hamilton, right? Let me see. That name does ring a bell. She's like a Hawaiian surfer who got attacked by a shark and lost an arm. Yeah, it is. It is this person. She rips. Yeah, there. Okay, that's a bad photo because that could be her trailing arm is behind her. But yeah, this is. Yeah, she rips. Oh well, she's totally better than me, dude. She shreds. I'm huge into Bible studies. So what was crypto? Crypto, was that your point there? You were alluding to that message being in relation to. Is that what you were doing? I think you're way off tangent or way off target, but you might think it's right on. Yeah, there you go. When Bethany was 13, one of her arms got eaten by a shark. Luckily, she can surf with even one arm. I mean, the pop up with one arm. Wow. I guess it could be done. Yeah. I mean, I might try it. I might go out there and there's no swell today. Oh, actually, it's getting bigger this afternoon. Maybe it might be on later in the afternoon. Maybe a one-armed pop-up. Far out. That'd be so difficult. You'd have to really. She doesn't ride a fatter board either. She rides just a regular board. Like that pop-up from one arm in the center would be. I guess I'd do that kind of anyway. I grab the rail with this hand and I'd put my other hand in the center of the board to pop up. So, yeah. I don't do Bible studies, John says, where there's tons of intel on it. Stores are already in place for you to scan your right hand to enter. Yeah, but it's not, but, so, okay, so the way that this is not, so those Bible verses are not referring to the vaccine. The reason is the mark of the beast. First of all, it's a distinct number, 666. So the jab is not 666, right? So that's the most literal deciphering of that. It actually says the number will be 666. That's not what the jab is. The other thing that is standing out like dog's balls to me is that This, if the devil even exists, his idea is to ruin mankind, right? Like bring everything down. This, I don't want to keep saying the word, this JAB is to fix things. To fix things, right? It's to fix this pandemic. It's to fix it all. Whereas the opposite would be the case. If it was a case of the JAB is there to ruin everything, then we would be all dead and dying. Now you might say there are cases of people dying. Yeah, but not many, right? Not many. There's far more people dying from the virus than there are from the jab. Man, this sucks we can't talk freely on YouTube, but I'm just trying to not get dinged. Imagine if you live streamed on Christmas Day. It's been 11 years since we had Xmas Day on a Saturday. I mean, what day is Christmas Day in Australia? Let me have a look. I don't know where you are, John, but Christmas Day is the 25th. Dude, that is a Saturday. Yeah, I will be live streaming. 25th, yeah, I'll stream. 10 hours a day plus on research. I truly believe my research, but I'll be continuing to pray for us all. The crypto team, I know it sounds ludicrous, but it's not. I mean, it's. I just think it's like you're trying to tie two things together that aren't correlated. Like, next month will be my 22nd birthday, January 3rd, 2000. You were born. Wow, you were born 3 days after the Millennium Bug. Awesome. Roger Stone, Alex Jones, and we know Glenn Beck, good places to go for Intel. You mean Intel, the computer company? If you look up and research the ingredients in these vaxes right on their website, you'll see and find everything. Did you know that 2021 is similar to 2010? Hey, crypto team, do you want to come in? Do you want to call in, dude? Like, I mean, I can read the chat and we can have this kind of conversation, or you can come on and actually discuss this. Is that something you might be interested in? I have offered this as part of this stream. So you want to call in and have a discussion? I mean, at the moment, it's just me answering your comments one-to-one on the chat. It'd be much nicer to have you here with me discussing this. You seem to know a lot about it. And I wanted to offer that out there for anybody. I wasn't expecting a discussion COVID related, but hey, here we are. There we go. And anybody else that's watching, I see 10 viewers on DLive. Anybody else that's watching that wants to come over, if you want to have a chat, this is a YouTube stream. If you want to come on and chat, I'm happy to kick back and continue have a chat. Just get this free-form discussion. We've been talking about, it'd be good to get off that topic, but it doesn't matter. But we've been talking about that, and now we're talking about how the Bible's related. So I only have a phone though, so that can work, right? You can just use a phone. My only request would be just put your phone down, like don't hold it in your hand, because then it's moving and jumping and shaking, and you've got like microphones moving around and crap. If you just put your phone down on a bench or on a table or something, that can work. It's got a camera, it's got a microphone. I certainly enjoy when Ben on live streams with special guests. My personal favorite has to be Poopsie on November the 6th. You recall that? Yeah, she's terrific. She's terrific. So yeah, I mean, I'm offering this out for anybody, and certainly I see Twitch, I see Trovo. Just looking at the numbers here. If you want to come in, I don't know how long we'll extend. We've been live 40 minutes here. I'll extend this out. I'm just putting it out there. Like, if you want to call in, the option today is on, right? Shall we keep looking at Bethany Hamilton? 5 facts to know. Yeah, she got arm taken off right on the top there. She's married with 2 kids. Tobias and Wesley. Favorite animals, manatee, Shar-Pei dogs and pigs. She likes dark chocolate. Me too. Hell yeah. So she gave away memberships to Unstoppable Life. She's also 3rd time pregnant at age 30. Surfing. Let's read about her surfing before. I guess this is going to include the shark attack. Surfing has been a way of life for Bethany since she was able to get on a board. She sees her passion for surfing as a gift from God and as what... Can I make that larger? I made it too large. Bugger. Where'd it go? Here we go. She sees her passion for surfing as a gift from God and as what compelled her to go back to the sport against all odds. Coming back after the shark attack, Bethany found success in surfing comp. Now she makes her mark as a professional surfer in the free surfing arena. So she competes not in like a disabled area or a like special needs surfing. No, she just goes out amongst everybody else. She currently competes in Choice World Surf League, WSL, tour events upon invite and in other special events. In 2016 alone, Bethany's capacity to inspire reached new heights as she beat 6-time world champ and the top-ranked surfer in the world at a major WSL competition. By overcoming some of the hardest challenges and relentlessly pursuing her passion through faith, she has become one of the leading professional surfers of all time. In 2017, she was inducted into the Surfers Hall of Fame. Rad. She shreds. And did you seriously ask me who's better, her or me? I think you were trolling me at that point. I gotcha. Do we really think Klaus Schwab, Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates are good people? Heck no. No. Do you guys know of the Georgia Guidestones? That's what the evil entities worship. The only way. Crypto team, I'll put it out there again to you. Are you going to call in? Like, are we going to? Because I could keep reading your comments, or you could verbally express this, and you'd have more impact by doing it that way. I mean, I could keep reading. You've definitely got an angle here, or an angel that you want to go along with. I'm here to say you're welcome to do it on my stream. Let's call in and get it going. Let's not faff around in the chat anymore. Let's actually have a conversation. That's what I'm angeling for here. A conversation with you, like vocals together, not just me reading your chat comments. You've got a lot to say by the look of it. How do I call in? Okay, I'll give you the link, dude. What I'll do is I'll go. Let me just go over here. Get rid of that. First of all, oh no, we'll do that in a second. Let me just open up this. So if we open up Chrome, which I will do, let me just bring in Chromesky. So the chat will change slightly here. And it will look like... So it's going to look like this. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going to give you the invite link here. Copy this link. And it's in the chat. All you got to do is hit that link up and I'll see you when you come in. And this chat here, oddly enough now, this chat will bring in, there you go, the Twitch chat. And this will also bring in the YouTube chat, the DLive chat, etc., etc., etc. Do you miss being in the MS-DOS era? Apparently it started in '85 when Microsoft was established and ended in 2001. I don't have a huge memory of it. I mean, I remember the command prompt. I remember loading up executable files. I remember CD / to go back in a directory. CD / dir directory. I remember certain things. I remember hitting the readme.txt files. I remember that, but I don't remember too much about it. My computing sort of history, I guess, began sort of just after that point. And funnily enough, it was at school, or not funnily enough, but interestingly enough, it was at school, but we were using Apple computers. Our school, I don't know why, we had Apple IICs. I don't remember any IBM compatibles, PCs. I remember just Apple Macs. And then, that is weird, because then when I bought my first computer in like 1994, 95? No, I was in Perth, 96. No, it was after I left Perth, came back the first time. I bought my first computer in 1997. Yeah, and it was a PC. Didn't buy a Mac. Redox Bear, how you doing, man? G'day, Redox. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Benon, I really do know my Apple Macs and Microsoft Windows computers very well. Oh, good, John. That's good. Good to know. I'm just going back through my history there and thinking, isn't that interesting that I did computer studies in school on a Mac, yet when it came time to buying a computer, I bought a PC. And then fast forward to about 2004 or 2003, and I started going to graphic design college, and they were using Macs. They had the clear Bondi blue, I'm going to say eMac, but Hendrik, correct me, they were iMacs back then as well. Yeah, those stupid, colorful ones. And then I bought a Mac. Oh, I got to sneeze here. Bought a MacBook Pro, and it was one of those ones that they had a real bad problem. They had the clamshell, when you close the lid bent up on the edges, like really bad. Like on the edge, on the front right and left corners of that MacBook Pro, it bent up so far that it was like you could slide a coin underneath it. Okay, I hear Crypto in the house. Let me just bring Crypto in. I'm gonna do this way. Oh, where's my mouse? Over here. So Crypto, I guess, is in the house right now. How you doing, man? I can't see a microphone for you, dude. I can't hear a microphone either, but I see you there. We'll just wait till Crypto gets his microphone handy or sorted, and I'll know when you do get that working out because I'll see it in the screen as well. But I don't see a level meter for you there, so you've got to turn your microphone on or do something funky with your situation. Benon, you got to watch the Windows XP commercial from the early 2000s. That commercial has the 1999 Madonna song "Ray of Light." Features people flying everywhere on screen and people's computers. Is that right? I haven't seen it. I don't recall it. Let me just move myself on this side so that when Crypto does come in, that'll be better. Yeah. So I'll know when you get your microphone sorted because it'll pop up here. Yeah, I know that song. I know that album. That was the Madonna album that my girlfriend brought home from Vietnam when she was over there doing a trip, a textiles university trip, and she came back with a whole bunch of bootlegged albums. One of them was Madonna's Ray of Flight. Yeah. And she also had Massive Attack, Mezzanine, but it was spelt with 3 Z's, Mezzanine. And Madonna, Susan Vega, 9 objects off desire, something like that. Just like blatantly, like they had to. So if I understand correctly, the way that these bootlegs got around copyright was just to change the graphic just enough so that it was percentage-wise not breaching copyright terms. So if you change one word, you're not breached terms because you're not 100% copy. You're not copying it 100%. Not Ray of Flight. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was called Ray of Flight so that it didn't get copyright hit. Keep getting denied. What do you mean denied, Crypto Team? You've just got to enable whatever the microphone settings in that link I sent you. Like I see you there, but you don't have a microphone. So you've got to enable your microphone. Yeah, you've just got to enable your microphone, dude. I'll bump you off there until you come in, or I'll just put you I'll just keep you in the green room until you get your mic. I'll see when your microphone connects, but at the moment I don't see an audio level for your mic. So I know you can hear me, but you need to allow okay, you're on your phone. What browser are you using on your phone? If you're using Chrome, or are you on an iPhone or an Android? So you got to go into the settings, I guess, and you got to make sure that browser has access to your microphone. How is the crypto team having problems with the microphone? I don't understand it either. Every phone has a microphone, and all you have to do is make sure that the browser, whatever the browser you click that link I sent in, that browser must have microphone access in the security settings and whatnot. It's the same across every phone. For that matter, anyone watching on DLive or on Trovo or Twitch, if you want to call in and you got anything on your freaking minds, this is the stream for you. Call on in and let's have a chin wag. Let's have a chisel chat. I'm all about it. I love a good chat. I love a good chat. Just sit here, listen, talk. Once I turn on mic, it says press allow and nothing pops up. I use DuckDuck browser. So your DuckDuck browser on your phone, I guess you said you're on the phone, right? So at that point, you must have a security setting in the DuckDuck browser to disable microphone access. You need to go and do that. What the hell was that? Did you guys hear that? What was that? Something fell down somewhere. It scared me. Yeah, and you're on an Android. So yeah, you've got to go into the DuckDuckGo settings in the browser, and you have to enable microphone. That sounds better. I hear you come in again. I still don't see a microphone, man. I don't see an audio level. John C, my iPhone doesn't have a microphone, but it does have Siri. How have you been interacting with Siri? Or no, every iPhone has a microphone. Every iPhone has a microphone. That's how you access Siri. Have you been Have I been interacting? Yeah. Hey Siri, what's the forecast?
It's currently cloudy and 17 degrees. Expect rain starting in the afternoon and cloudy skies in the evening. Temperatures will be fairly consistent, averaging about 18 degrees.
So temperatures averaging about 18 degrees, and rain starting this afternoon. I wish you could answer this. Hey Siri, what's the swell forecast?
It's currently cloudy and 17 degrees.
She goes back to the weather forecast. I want to know what the waves are doing.
Temperatures will be fairly consistent, averaging about 18 degrees.
That's cold for summer. This is the 4th day of summer, and we got conditions like that. It's crazy. By the way, I see 9 people watching on DLive. Can someone chat on DLive just to verify that does pull in here? I see 9 viewers on DLive. Can someone just hit the DLive chat and say, hey, I'm over on DLive and I want to see. I feel like something's going to fall off my shelf. I can hear like creaking and crackling and wobbling. Something's going to fall down, right? The crypto team. Oh, here he is. I see you now, dude. I see you now. Here we go.
There you go.
There it is, man.
Man.
Awesome, dude. Just angle it slightly up so you got a lot of headspace there, dude. All right. Hey, that's better. How you doing, man?
Not bad, man. Can't complain, man. Just living life.
Let's just confirm everything first here. You're not banned on DLive, are you? You're not a banned streamer?
No.
Cool. I didn't want to breach any terms.
I stream on DLive, so
okay.
I don't stream anywhere at the moment, at least.
So you've caught one of my crypto streams before here on YouTube, is that right?
Yes.
Well, rad, man. I appreciate you coming in and having a chat here. Let's go. Let's talk about the mark of the beast.
Yeah, man. I mean, since we was talking about, since you live in Australia and I've seen that, and I watch a lot of stuff, I study a lot of things, and they always talk about what's going on in Australia. And I was seeing that you mentioned that you got your double take there, and hearing about the situations of what unvaxxed people are going through over there seems pretty frightening. And a lot of people, is concerned about that over here in America. And over here in America, I know they say certain numbers, and a lot of numbers isn't to the what people thinks. Um,
Yeah.
there's more people unvaxxed here than it is vaxxed here, especially where I stay at in the States. And one of the biggest states in America is Florida. And their governor there, he's against everything when it comes to anything around COVID mandates, mask mandates, anything like that. They're the healthiest and the most unvaccinated state in America and have the least amount of cases and the least deaths.
Right.
And you have states on the other hand, like New York and Michigan, who has a high rate of vaccination rates. And the hospitalization and the death rates are insane through the roof in those states.
See, that's weird, isn't it? The places with the highest vaccine rates also has the highest COVID and death rates. That's confusing. And I'm not pretending that doesn't add up to me, but they're the facts.
No. Yeah,
it's like
you got a guy like Roger Stone that's been doing research and been doing things and warning the world about things like this since the 80s. Before, I don't know how old you are, I'm pretty young, but there's truthers out there that speak out on this, that they was as young as still drinking out a bottle when this older guy was, spreading the news out to the world, but everybody labeled him as a conspiracy theorist. And then you have the guy like Alex Jones that's been doing it since the early 2000s. And what I've then took upon myself last year was to start not watching what these guys are saying now in the moment. I went back to watch things from 2006, from 2010, from 2012.
Right.
And I related that to what happened in 2020 and what's going on now when we're looking to coming into in 2022. And just watching that stuff, hearing what these guys say, man, these guys were, I would say, over 80% correct and nailed right on to the teeth of what's going on and what's to come.
So this is
incredible.
This is before it all broke out. These guys had this down. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yep. This COVID stuff, this huge thing that we're living. This is like one big movie set, man. It's one big movie set that we're having in real life. Like if you ever watch Austin Powers and Dr. Evil, right? Fossey is like our real life Dr. Evil here in America.
I just turned on the X tag on DLive. I am restreaming to DLive, and I've got to follow there. I forgot about getting into controversial content so deep, so I turned the X tag on. Doesn't matter. So just on that note, this new variant, this Omicron, right? I found it intriguing that as of, and it's now Saturday, but on Monday, so 6 days ago or 5 days ago, when this thing first was sort of talked about in Australia, the two cases that have been at that point, there's since been a lot more, but at that point it was two. Both of those people had been double jabbed before, and they still got Omicron. And I made a comment about that on a video, on a big YouTuber's video who was reporting on it, Philip DeFranco, and I got hit back with comments saying, "Oh, but getting the jab doesn't stop you from getting the virus." And I was like,
no,
"But
the
then
jabs are causing it."
But then why is there such a push to get it? Like, what if it doesn't stop you from getting ill? Why are we so focused on everybody getting it?
Georgia Guidestones.
What's that?
The Georgia Guidestones. Just like in the Bible where you have the 10 Commandments, there's a flip side, basically like a mirror verse to it. There's the evil 10 Commandments. It's these stones in Georgia and Elbert County, and there's tons of videos that's archived. Like there's a guy on DLive. His name is Gino. He lives in America, and he shows these videos time to time to his followers because you can't find it anywhere on the internet. But anyway, there's videos talking about the Georgia Guidestones that people did their research over the years. Those are located in Georgia State in America, and those 10 Commandments, the very first one is to maintain population at 500 million. And in order to do that, and this video that I watched was, I believe, shot in 2002, 2003, where a guy was doing a lot of research on these Georgia Guidestones and was talking to the people that live near to the town or where they're located and whatnot, and asked the residents how they felt specifically just about number one, about maintaining population, or how could anybody even consider or get the population that we do have here in the world to a number, even though 500 million doesn't seem like it's a small number. But when you think about having tens of billions of people walk this earth, 500 million is very small. So there were people in that video that was shot roughly almost 20 years ago, like this older lady that worked at this office that said there's no way that they could knock off that many people unless they just had some worldwide genocide.
Wow.
Like things that we already had in our past before. And that's where these vaccines come into play.
Steak?
Now, if you think about before Delta.
Steak?
Just one sec.
Good morning, Benin and Crypto. Cut of meat, cut of meat, cut of meat, cut of meat.
That's Charlotte Rose with the super chat. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you. Oh, $15. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Very kind. Good morning. I'm glad you could hear that too in your headset, because that can be very disturbing if you don't know what's happening, but everybody else does. So sorry for the interruption.
I did hear it, so it let me just go on pause for a second there.
we gotta get a title up for you, man. Let me give you a title. Where are we reading this from? So your crypto. What do you call yourself? Crypto. I just got crypto.
Yeah, just crypto, man. Crypto. Crypto is like, there's crypto as in like, what we trade, but crypto also means, eyes everywhere, because I'm always watching, not watching like eyes everywhere, but I'm paying attention to everything. I don't want to just pay attention to what's going on in my hometown, in my home state, in my home country. This is my world. This is my planet that I live on with you guys. So I'm watching everywhere. I'm taking everything that I can from here and here and there and sharing things everywhere I can, man. I don't know if this is what God wants me to do, but it could be something that God wants me to do. So,
I mean, it's fair enough. It's fair enough. You tie the religion into it, or just a good way of living? Just a good way of living. Right. So you're not a religious person. Yeah, you're not practicing. You're not going to church and all that kind of stuff. But you just I have my own Bible studies with friends of mine that go to churches. I don't actually have a home church. My home church is right here within my heart. Okay. I'm just wondering, people might have a different take on that. People might think, well, and I mean, I guess this will open up a huge can of worms. But if you take a certain part of the book, but then you don't take the other part, like, so I guess what I'm doing is I'm bringing it back to when we were talking about the 666 not being the jab. What express your thoughts on that? Okay, well, there's so much research on that, and when you think of the number 666, and there's a correlation with the website www stands for 666, and I can't show this because I'm not here at a laptop doing all this, but this is something you could do 5-10 minutes of research on, and you'll find that out. That www stands for 666. The internet was always meant to be evil anyway. Technology came into our lives as we look at it like a great thing, and technology has its pros, but people got to understand that technology has its cons as well. Just like in every good superhero movie, there's always a villain. There's always going to be death. There's always going to be something evil, but it's always going to be something good that trumps over evil. Right. It's just how it is. So the internet was designed to be evil from the beginning? Could be, man. It's a good speculation. Bill Gates is not a good character, per se. Mind you, Bill Gates didn't invent the internet. He didn't, did he? I mean, I thought the internet was being used by the military long before civilians got access to it. I mean, you got people before this. I mean, the people that really, there's names that we don't know of, but it all goes back to like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, man, if you know who those groups are. Okay, I've heard the names mentioned before in terms of owning the media and whatnot, right? Yeah, and it's what we're going through, man, is bigger. And like you said about when I asked you about just fighting or standing up against it, and you guys say, well, just just grab it, and then you can just, go to work and continue to see your family and whatnot. Yeah. Here in America, I think this probably, there's other countries that I've seen clips and talked to people where they have tens of hundreds of thousands of people fighting up against the mandates, and just for humanity. Like I said, I'm for humanity, man. I'm not a super religious person. Yes, I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. He sacrificed himself for us. Everybody have a different belief on that, and I still communicate and talk to anybody. I love all people. I pray for everyone, no matter their status. But it brings me back to what I'm saying, that
here in America, man, there's so many people that we're one of the last beacons of hope for this whole world. If we fall, everybody falls. But we haven't fallen yet. And one of the main reasons we haven't fallen yet is because of our Second Amendment right here, the freedom and right to bear arms. There are more guns here in America than there are anywhere else in the world. So that's one major catalyst on why we have not fallen yet. And I believe that we may or may not fall. We just don't know, because as the Bible reads, and I read the whole book of Revelations, and I'm continuing to study different things throughout the Bible and other inserts of the Bible that was left out of the Bible, that you can learn these things. And God even says in the Bible that, ask him for wisdom, pray and ask out for wisdom. And that's every time I pray, even when my kids join in prayer, when we ask for all the wisdom that he can rain down on us. And we can see that put into our everyday lives. And, it's just, I just look at like it's just a simple truth, man. It's a simple truth. It's a lot of simple truths that people don't want to recognize. People are too comfortable with their lives, and
it's pretty heavy though. Like, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You just alluded to like you got guns, so you're willing to defend your rights with guns. So you're effectively saying you're ready to shoot somebody.
No. But they are ready to shoot people. They're already shooting people, man. You got to see and look around what's going on.
Okay, I misinterpreted.
Look at all the high school shootings out here.
I misinterpreted what you said. I thought you were saying like when I answered before about what I would do to, why I got the jab because of this and that, my family and travel interstate, and I guess I thought you were saying you said you would not get the jab, right?
No.
Yeah. So what would make you change that opinion?
Well, have you looked at the ingredients and studied the ingredients in it before you got it?
To be honest, no, I didn't. And a lot of that's...
Most people don't. So it's okay. I'm not going to, pound you about it. I'm not going to judge anybody, because God doesn't judge us until death. So why would I judge anybody?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, but I didn't look into it. A lot of it was me, I guess, being a little bit blasé to it and not caring. Maybe that's wrong, but I have had vaccinations before. I went to... Yeah,
same
when,
here.
When I went to England, I had to get jabbed one time. So I just figured this is just another one of those things that they know more about than I'll ever know. Everyone's getting it. At this particular point in Australia, when I got it, nearly I think it was like 70% of the country was already double jabbed, and not many deaths. But then again, not many deaths from the thing that we're jabbing against as well. So I was like, you know what? I don't really care. Just give it to me and be done with it. Yeah. I will say at this point, it's pretty interesting to note that. So Charla Rose, that dropped the super chat earlier, she did get double jabbed as well. She's an American living in Australia now for 17 years, and she just had heart issues, palpitations. She's gone to a heart specialist on Tuesday. She's on meds now, and it's directly related to the jab. So we got a good overall perspective here of, I had a really bad reaction the first one. The second one, it was almost like nothing. And that first, I had mouth ulcers. Like my mouth was like gummy and bleedy and sensitive. Like even if I touched the roof of my mouth and my tongue, it was just all sensitive. It was really bizarre. Then the second one, I had no issues at all. So I guess
they planned on giving you way more than just two. They got it set up to where you get one every 6 months for the next 7 years, because we're living in, it's called their plan, and it's been named. I mean, I think they had this name settled in the 80s or the 90s, one of the two decades, but it's called Agenda 21. It started here in 2021, Agenda 21, and it goes until Agenda 2030. So those are two big catalysts to
interesting. What's the main goal of Agenda 21?
So the main goal is, the number one commandment on their Georgia Guidestones is to maintain population at 500 million or under. And so we're going through a bioweapon engineered.
Is this global population virus. Or what's
this? Is global. This is a global thing.
What's the population of the planet now?
I have no idea, man. That's way out of my reach.
I know who will. Hey Siri, population of the planet.
The answer is about 7.71 billion people.
There's 7.7 billion people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
So they're
I
well and
would
truly.
say it have to be way more than that, man.
They're well and
Because you
truly
never
over the
know.
500 mil, though.
Yeah, it's definitely over 500 million.
Yeah.
You got billion, like 1.4 billion, 1.7 billion in China alone. In
Yeah.
China alone, you got that many people.
So that's
You
a
know,
lot
so-
of people that need to die if we're going to maintain
Yeah,
500
and
mil.
if you think about the vaccinations, where when they first started this, they wanted anywhere from 85 to 95% of each country vaccinated. That would took out that, you know, that huge amount of numbers. So there, like I said, man, there's so much research. So one thing about me, I'm a chess player, man. I've been playing chess all of my life.
Sick.
So for somebody
I love
to
it.
not play chess and talk to me or try to explain chess to me, and it's not at a point, and the reason why I'm using chess as a metaphor here, because if I'm talking to somebody about chess and they're new at the game, they only know the name of the pieces, how to set up the board. There's nothing that guy could teach me in chess. It isn't, because I studied the game, I played the game longer than you. That's okay. I'm not trying to say that I have a one up on you. It's just facts. It's true. Just like red is red and blue is blue will never be red. Red will never be blue. It's just common sense. So when it comes to when it comes to discussing these things and these aspects, and why I say I've been studying and watching things repeatedly, you know, I take my time off, man, and you got to pray with some of this stuff that I watch and read, man, because me personally some of this stuff is just so evil and is just so disgusting. It makes you think like, I can't believe that people are really doing the things that they're doing, especially the things that they do with children, man. It's insane.
Right.
So just doing all
chess
that, man,
is a great analogy. I like the analogy of someone trying to explain chess to you. They don't know the game and they try to explain the pieces. You know the game, you've researched it, you played it for a long time, so therefore you know it. I like that analogy, but I didn't agree with you saying red is red and blue is blue, because people perceive things much differently. What I see as red, you might not see as red.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because of the color thing, I wasn't even thinking of it like that. So I'm sorry about that.
Even
Yeah.
more deeper than that. There's also, I don't know if you believe in this, but there's also the mind's eye, like not just color blindness, but you might see things differently. Like I might see, I don't know, I might see a beautiful horizon sunset, and you might see that as the worst thing ever because of the way your mind's eye talks to you. So I mean,
okay, well, maybe I should put it in this aspect, because this is something that actually going on that we're dealing with worldwide right now. When you're born, hold on, buddy. When you're born a boy, you are a boy. When you're born a girl, you are a girl.
Yeah.
So that's something that I guess I would relate it that way. The Bible talks about that guy on guy and that girl on girl action. That is not good. That is not good. People do it.
that we jumped into a fair different tangent there, but that's cool. We'll go down there. What about didn't the Bible also turn water into wine and bread into fish and stuff? What about that? That was a transferal. Just saying. Like, isn't that true? Like, there was bread falling from the skies, and
he got the ability to do that, but I don't think we should have the ability to, you know, want to be a boy to turn into a girl, because it's not how we was created, you know.
Weren't we all created in His image, though?
We was created. So from the day you're born, you're born with your little your dragon, your lizard. And you get it removed, it's like, what are you thinking, man?
Julian in the chat, I'm sorry, dude. I saw your comment before. Where did you find this so-called research? And then Julian also says, doesn't the Bible tell you to listen and trust in your government? I mean...
Whoa. Hold on. Where's that at in the Bible? No, brother. No.
And I see Perdsky crack open a Jack and Cola in Benon's honor. Enjoy that, Jack. Enjoy the Jack.
So we all play video games in our lifespan, right? Some sort of video game. You know,
Candy Crush Saga for me, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if that's not a game, for example, where you pick somebody and actually read like a bio. But what about superheroes? You know, you look up Iron Man, you can find out his background, you can find out his height, his superpowers, his aliases,
right.
His allies, his villains, all of that stuff. So why we don't do the same thing when it comes to people like Klaus Schwab or Boris Johnson or Anthony Fauci or Barack Obama or Bill Gates? Why don't we actually study and find out their real history? People don't do it, man.
One would assume that happens before they get in position of power, right? Don't they get
No,
vetted?
but why don't you personally, not you, but as a human being, why trust what somebody else did the research and not do your own research? Because if that's the case, what was the point of going to school when the teacher would tell you, I need you to do a research and process paper on this subject? Why do I need to do it when you already know?
It's a good point.
If you already know about the topic, why do I need to do it? So we should take that same aspect and put everything into life,
Yeah. Well,
but a lot of people don't do it, man.
There's your direct answer from Julian. Romans 13:1-2 says, "Obey the government, for God is the one who put it there. There is no government anywhere that God has not placed in power." Wow.
Okay, so another thing that I will say to that is that when Satan came to this earth, this is his kingdom. So a lot of people don't understand that. People think that when they worship God or follow God, that they're just supposed to be safe, that we're not supposed to be harmed. And the Bible says that we're nothing besides skin bags. We're meat suits. We're souls in a meat suit. Our body can be destroyed at any time. But it's not about your body. It's about your soul. What do you do with your heart? It's about what do you do with your heart. So with that being said, Satan came down here and his one and only goal was to disconnect us from God. He disconnected so many people from God. You can see it everywhere you turn. And it's been implemented throughout our history of so much negativity and evil that a lot of people are just content with it. A lot of people comfortable with it, man, just don't care. I got friends and family on both sides of the fence when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to unjab and jab, when it comes to believing that Fauci is a real doctor and some that know the truth. It's just, it's one of those things where when the time comes, when that one domino fall and the rest of them fall, everybody will have no choice but to see the truth at that point, So
you'd believe then we're living in the time that the Book of Revelation talks about. This is the end of days. Been.
I don't think we don't know the end of days because so if you think about it like that, and there's a book from Tim Gray's, it's called Charting the End Times. We're in like the Great Church Age or something like that, I believe, but there's never knowledge of when that happens, because before even God comes back or Jesus rises again to destroy the Antichrist, which he has a headroom, so he's already weak. That Satan do get his time to shine. This is Satan's time to shine. He's shining right now. If you look at it, it's, like I said, it's literally everywhere, man. It's evil everywhere. It's just people don't believe angels, demons, souls, all this other, nonchalant stuff. But the Bible states, and if you read, I think this is in Hebrews, that I gotta get that verse that the dude got from Romans, because a lot of people don't understand when they read the Bible. You have to, before you read it, and the best way to read a Bible is to read from a Word Application Bible. And even if you don't have one, you can still look this stuff up online and find out that book of the Bible, what group, what is that Bible, what is that chapter, that book referring to in the Bible, because like in Deuteronomy or Exodus, he's referring to Egyptians. So we gotta find out who is it referring to, And I like to talk about the book of James, because that book of James talks about specifically how to live as a Christian. And he's speaking strictly to Christians in there. I think it's one of the few times he mentions Christians in the entire Bible. But before I get too far off track, what I was trying to say is that in Hebrews, God says that I'm gonna send you. Basically how we're sent here, like how we're all here and we're sheep amongst wolves. And that's how we are when we're born. We don't know anything. We can't feed ourselves. We can't cleanse ourselves. We can't do anything. We're sheep. And a lot of people grow up and still remain sheep. That's what's wrong with people. People are called sheeple now. Sheeple. Sheeps and people, put it together as sheeple. So we deal with sheeple on a daily basis. And we're living amongst wolves. And what's funny to me is if people don't believe that Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Fauci, the Clintons, and Obama, and there's so many different people out there. If y'all don't believe that is evil, then who is evil? Who is? If you don't think they are, then who is? Not you, but I'm speaking as a whole.
Yeah.
Because because I have friends that I talk to that they, you know, and I don't try to change anybody's view or anything, but their view is just
if we're all born as sheep, and then it's our duty to learn,
and your parents' duty to teach you, which we don't always get.
Gotcha. If that's the case, then how come babies die? How come infants die without the chance to do that? That would.
I don't have an answer for that, but I can speculate on that.
That would infer. At that point, that would infer that those babies that die before they've had a chance to learn are evil, and they would go with the devil.
Well, we're all born into sin. We're all born into sin, and just because you die evil doesn't mean that you go to hell. It's based on how you live your life and how your heart is. So I will find it hard to believe, and I'm not saying that it's the case, but I will find it hard to believe that a kid, and I have no need anybody getting teary up on me, but I gotta
wait, back up a second. Why are we born evil? Where did that come from?
We're all born into sin. We're all sinners because of what happened with Adam and Eve.
So we're evil because of what someone else did.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer to your question. Who's actually evil? Not you or me. The person doing the deed, the original. Why should we pay for what they did?
All right. Well, that was the whole reason why Jesus sacrificed himself for all of us.
So we're clean then. Why are we still born evil?
Well, people sin every day, so it depends on if you sin or not. Me personally, yeah, I've not. But
didn't you say Jesus sacrificed himself for us? So from there on, we're good.
Yeah. So basically, if you look at it like this, you can basically speculate like this: from the time, so you got to go back, during his time, the people that were still living around then, all the people that have sinned, he asked for forgiveness for their sins. And when he sacrificed himself, they was cleansed. But if you continue to sin, it goes from, I think it's called conviction to conviction. So if you everyday sinner, you out here stealing, killing, and destroying and committing adultery and sin that you shouldn't be committing, then all you're doing is, playing around on the devil's land. And that's where it comes into the Bible, where it talks about asking God for forgiveness and studying his word and actually learn how to live the right way.
The way it's set up, the way it's designed is for you to fail unless you make a sacrifice of your own. You're born into sin. You're born to fail unless you do something to rectify it. Is that what I understand?
It's a good way to put it.
It's not very
like
fair,
I said, man.
It's not a very fair way to be. Like,
I'm not like a.
I mean, shouldn't it be you're innocent until proven guilty? But the way you're saying it is that the moment you're born, you're already messed up until you correct it.
Huh.
And you guys call you and you say you're free, but you're not free because you've changed. The only way you're free is if you're innocent and clean, and that's when you're born. But you're telling me that the moment you're born, you've already messed up by being born. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't, like, what power in authority would make that the conditions of being born? Lava Man, thanks for the sub, dude. Cheers, cheers,
man. That does make a great debate, a great example there. That sounds.
I mean, I think we can all agree on, like, there's nothing to be said about running around shooting people and being evil and deceptive and lying. These are all, like, things that humankind has come to understand aren't the best ways to exist. The better way to exist is to be kind to your fellow man, work hard, be studious and educate yourself, and do the things that make you a shining example of what could be good. If you choose to go the other way and you choose to do the opposite of that, then not only will everybody else think you're a tool, and you'll basically get condemned by the society. I guess it's like animals, right? Like, animals won't put up with other animals being like other birds and stuff will peck at the other birds if the other birds are being aggressive. It's the same kind of thing. So I just don't get the idea that before before you've done anything, you've already set up to fail unless you do this. I just don't buy it. And on that note, it's interesting because if you then go and look at like places where, missionaries that go across to the Amazon jungles and they go and find tribes and stuff and they preach the good word. It's like, well, these people in these jungles, they didn't have any knowledge of that beforehand. They were just existing and living. Yet now they've been told that they're doing it all wrong unless they do what people in the West have been doing. So that like they've existed for hundreds and hundreds of millennia in these tribes with no, like they worship, a decaying cow skull, and that's how they live. That's fine for them. But yet someone comes in and says, "Oh, this is the way you got to live by this book," and if you don't, like it's condemning, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I've seen somebody comment in there and said, I think the argument is all the scientists are from Satan.
Is that what the argument is? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I was bringing up Klaus Schwab, Fauci, and all of those other names, man. This is what we dealing with.
So
have you heard about?
Is that what you're saying?
Have you heard about Jeffrey Epstein? Epstein? You ever heard of that name before?
Yeah, the guy who died in jail. Yeah.
Yeah, and his wife, girlfriend, whoever this lady is, that has this trial going on in America that the news media isn't talking about. Yeah, that ties into a lot of the creepy stuff that these guys been up to when it comes to the child stuff and whatnot.
Is that a fair point from Perd Beer? I think the argument is all scientists are from Satan. I mean, that seems like where we're at right now in this discussion.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so many movies out there, so many video games, so many cartoons where you got the evil scientists and the evil, antagonists, and we got that right now in real life. The question is, do we have a resistance fighting against it? I believe we do. Won't say who and what groups, but I believe that we have a resistance.
Okay.
And time will tell, because the thing about the resistance is always going to try to do things the right way. So not retaliation in, bearing arms,
Okay.
But
Julian,
we had wars before, and a World War III isn't too far-fetched. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's okay. Julian says, do we have that? Do we really, though? I mean, if the argument is that the COVID, if that's science working in hands with Satan to mass depopulate the planet down to 500 million because of the grey stone, I can't recall what the word was.
Georgia Guidestones. I would definitely
Guidestones.
recommend checking that out when you have a time, man.
If that's the case, they got a long way to go, and so hang on, the Georgia Guidestones, do they exist in the Bible?
No, this is something. It's something completely new to me. I just learned about it last year.
Okay, so who wrote it? What? Like, the Bible is written by a bunch of people back in history, but who put this stuff down? The Georgia Guidestones.
The Georgia Guidestones. So there's a name. His name go by R.C. Christian. Nobody knows who he is. It's like
Satoshi.
Yeah, right. And it's illegal to go to the Georgia Guidestones, to go visit it.
Right. So
there's so much.
Is it something like, is it religion based, or is it just someone that somehow had knowledge from some place? Like, how did he get this information?
I watched a 2.5 hour video on this, and I can't even remember the answer to that question of why it's there, or if it was following.
You believe it?
Belief.
You believe it?
Man, there's so many things I believe, man. It will sound ludicrous to some of y'all.
I mean, hey, the ultimate thing is here, if that keeps you happy and that gives you solace and that gives you a nice, comfortable way to live, then that's fine. Like, I think what we really have here, what ultimately this boils down to, is money. I think the C bomb isn't quite real. Everyone's in each other's pocket
It's
to
not
make as
real.
much money out of it as possible.
Yeah,
We're the
get money
suckers.
and
We're the suckers, and I get that, but we're always going to be the suckers. Unless you are in the government making the decisions, you're being made decisions for. That's why you elect governors and officials and leaders. You do that because you want them to give you instruction. If you don't like that system, unfortunately, there's not many places on this planet that don't have that as a system. But if you don't like it, you have to think about where you can go that is outside of that system. Because as you said, we're all born into sin. We're also born into life. And life dictates that a few of us will rule over the many. That's the fact. You can't escape that. You can end up topping yourself and getting away from it if you wanted to. Not the greatest solution. Or you could find out something inside that life that keeps you happy and maintains your existence on some kind of level of, okay, well, I understand that that's how it works. I'm not going to get so wrapped up in it. I'm going to enjoy my existence. I'm going to go, for me, it's go surfing. I'm going to enjoy studying cryptocurrencies and do live streams. I'm going to have fun and I'm going to live my life. Whenever my life ends, it's going to be, who knows, like abrupt, like a lot of people. Then can you say it was worthy for me to fight against a system that you can't change? No one else can change. You're not fortunate enough to be born into that hierarchy, so therefore you're always going to be a pawn, to bring it back to chess, and just keep moving around the chessboard and enjoying yourself. That's how I look at it. And that's why I got jabbed. That's why I got jabbed, because I don't want to be, stuck in one position and not in check, but have a bishop next to me and a rook over here, and I can't go anywhere. I want to be able to move freely around that chessboard, and so therefore give me this phony thing, whatever it is. But you did raise a good point before when you said that they're going to keep mandating that you keep getting it. I'm gonna say when that comes down to the boosters and stuff, I'm probably going to decline them. But again, it'll come down to, well, then you can't do this and you can't do that, and then I'll go and get the booster. That's how I look at it.
grab my phone charger here. I want to respond to that.
Yeah, sure. Michael RAF, hi from Liverpool, England. Hello, Michael. Thanks for joining us, man. The secrets of life, lots of beer and fornication. Beer and sex, no problem with that there, Pertsky. Does homebrew count? Hey, can I give you the mic for a second? I got to go to the bathroom really quickly. I'm going to give you the full screen presentation so you can just have a quick address of some of the chat comments, and I'll come straight back. But while I go to the bathroom, it'll be you in full screen propses, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
There we go, folks. This is the crypto stream. Okay, cool.
Hey guys, this is crypto. Dark here. Got a crypto appearance. The secret of life, lots of beer, fornication. He's mixing it. Hi from Liverpool, England. Hello, I got some friends over there. I game with from time to time. Yeah, so when he was speaking of chess, like I live my life happily and enjoy it, and not in fear of what's going on. And I look at it like I just try to stay ahead, and it's very hard for me not to look at it that way, because I've been playing chess since a very, very young boy, and everything around chess is always being one step. People will say one step ahead of your opponent. No. Multiple steps ahead of your opponent. So that's how I put everything into my everyday life. So my children, mine's, my wife's, everything, just everything. Gas. Yeah, I get gas on Mondays because it's the cheapest day of the week to get gas. I'll never get gas on a Friday or a Saturday.
All right. Thanks, man. Cheers for that. I really had to. My prostate's not so great these days, and I really had to take a slash.
Is it, are you from D Live? No, I'm not on D Live. I'm not on D Live. Where are you from? I'm from the United States.
Yeah, you don't have to give out your location, of course. Intriguing conversation, though. I guess what I was sort of getting to before on my comment or my commentary was, what is it that makes you happy in life? Like you sound like you got a family there. Is that where you get solace?
Yeah. So when you ran to the bathroom, I was just talking to the chat about that. So, man, I'm happy with my life. When it comes to being awoke to what's going on in the world, I really haven't had that really like smack me across the face until last year.
Okay.
And it really made me want to get a hit of that. And when they talk about getting a hit of that, because you were speaking of chess, you know, people will tell you that chess, you want to stay, a step ahead of your opponent. And I'm like, no, not at all. I want to stay multiple steps ahead of my opponent.
10 steps. Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
10 steps, 20 steps, whatever I can do, man.
Yeah.
So, and it's very hard for me not to live my life like that. So when it comes to parenting, with my children, doing things with myself and my wife, or just anything in life, man, I like to just plan ahead and stay ahead as best as possible. So that's like my thing.
So when you said this started for you like last year, is that because of COVID? Is that why you've kicked into gear with?
Well, it's not because of COVID, but it's because of what COVID did to me. I was working 60 hours a week, man. So I was working hardcore hours. There was not much free time. If I did have free time, I was definitely with my children or doing something with my wife, but I didn't have much free time like I was when I was a lot younger, playing video games or in school, playing sports and playing chess. So I had so much more time on my hands, man. And it really got me into, what is this COVID crap? You know, so I really got deep into that. And I have great friends, great spiritual friends, to this day that's been around for years, man. And they, started to show me things and tell me things that really made sense. And I got back into my Bible studies because I've been into Christianity since the age of 9, but I was young. I didn't understand anything. I was misguided, lost, everything like that. I came back into my, my spiritual realm last year. And it really got dark for me in 2017 when my first daughter, I have a second daughter now, but my first daughter passed away at 6 months old. And yeah, we have a huge court cases. But thank you for that. Huge court case we got going on since the end of 2017, and it's still not wrapped up yet. We're looking to have it wrapped up sometime next year.
Oh shoot! So it sounds like there was some outside influence there involved in her dying.
Yeah, it could have been. We believe it was the hospital itself. So. Oh
crikey! Wow. I mean, that I didn't know that, but when I asked that question earlier about young babies dying, I guess that's a little insensitive. But I didn't know your story. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's I'm not trying to pinpoint it on a lot of different things around it. I'm gonna let the courts handle it on when to speak of vaccines and us getting the vaccines. My youngest daughter, she's 6 months old. She was almost 7 months old, and my friends' kids is like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Never had a vaccine. So from the day of birth all the way up until now, my little baby, this is my 4th child now. So I have an oldest son. I have a second younger son, and my youngest baby has never had any of these vaccines that we get from birth, man. And she hasn't had any type of cough, sickness, or anything since she's been around. I mean, she only been around a short period of time.
Right.
But yeah, man.
That's intriguing because did you in the case of your births, have you had them birthed at the hospitals?
Yeah, I have. And I have a friend that did one at home on purpose because they don't like hospitals. But I've went to hospitals.
Yeah. I was going to say, so at that point when you have what do they call them? What's the doctor who delivers the baby? It's not the midwife, is it? Is that? I've got no children of my own, so I've never been there. But
the midwife is somebody that you hire if you're going to do it outside of the hospital. But they're called.
Who delivers the baby?
So you got me with that one, man.
Just the doctor, right?
It's a doctor. She got a special name, but I can't think of it.
So what I was getting at is if you take your wife into the delivery room and you say she's pregnant, she's in labor, she's about to pop, you do the things that you guys do, and then you go and wait in the waiting room while your wife is handled with the most professional care she can, because they do this possibly on an hourly basis. At what point do you interject and say, don't do that, don't do any of that stuff, don't put any of those jabs in her? Oh, but so these are necessary for the survival of the newborn. No. Just pop her out, wrap her in the towel and hand her back. I'll do everything. Like that must come to a consideration of yours where you say, I'll take the baby now and I'll deal with everything. Where does that cutoff exist?
Well, that came into me because, so what happened with my daughter drew up a lot of speculation in all types of fields. And I have an auntie of mine that started to show me things about vaccines. And she believed that my daughter passed away from one of the vaccines that she possibly had from birth. That's her belief. I don't know if that's the case or not, but there's so many cases of little kids dying at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. And what people got to understand is when you have things like that, of course, everybody isn't going to die from it. So that's why you look up something online and say, oh, we have 2 million cases of this per year. And out of those 2 million cases, you'll have 10,000 deaths. So just that year, our daughter was one of those 10,000 out of the 2 million, so it's speculated like that.
Yeah.
So, and then if you bring it to the everyday vaccines now, like you say, you might deny it at this point. Like you taking 2 of them, man, you're still fine. It could be that 19th one you take that really take you out.
It's
because
true.
The vaccine isn't about keeping you from being sick. It's to inject you in excuse my French. I almost said I didn't say it though. It's to mess up your immune system. We have a natural immune system.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't deny the points you've just made there, and you obviously, like it. To be frank, it now comes a little clearer from where you stand because of your personal experience, and I completely understand that. Just trying to tie it back to what you were saying before. At that point that they vaccinate someone, whether it be willing or as a newborn having to have these shots and blah, 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 you still believe that that's the devil at work. That's the point I can't quite bring together. I believe that it's not the devil trying to bring the population down. It's science trying to give you the best remedy against something that they don't really understand. That's the way I look at it. But I can see why you have your opinion. You've gone through that experience with your young one, and that's a terrible experience to have. And to be a statistic in those relatively low numbers stands out even harder, right? Because there's not many of them there. So therefore it's like a sore thumb. It sticks right out. So obstetrician, that was the word I was looking for. Thanks, Persky. Yeah, so I see where you're coming from, dude. I fully understand where you're at. Are you a happy person in life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Always. I was about to say always. Haven't always been, but definitely am now, man. I have no room for complaints, man.
You mentioned you used to work 60 hours a week. Now you've cut back on. Is it the same job you're in, or are you just doing a different job where you don't have to put in all those hours? Or
so I play crypto. I play crypto to earn games, and I invest in a lot of different cryptocurrencies. Swing trade here and there.
You're a trader. Wow, dude.
Yeah, man. So I was a truck driver for a company for a while, and so once COVID hit, I was one of the drivers that got laid off because they had to get rid of some drivers. I was unfortunately one of them, and they gave me a lot more time to spend more time with family and friends. Get a chance to communicate with them. During the beginning of the pandemic, they didn't want us to do that, but I wasn't going to listen to. Nobody's going to tell me that I can't see my family, man. It's just not happening. I don't care who they are. I don't fear them. I fear nobody but God. So it was just not happening. And so of course I still went to go see everybody, but I know that it's differences everywhere. Communication, talking about different things, showing each other different clips. Hearing things from, like I mentioned, back from 2008, 2006, man, you'll be surprised some of the things that I've seen and listened to from 2006. Yeah. And we're in 2020, well, at the time, 2020, but we're in 2021 now. And like the Omicron stuff, man, there was a South Park episode that came out before Omicron, and they predicted Omicron. They call it the Delta Super Plus. Plus, they showed the red SUV driving over people. Like the incident happened in Wisconsin in America, where the guy ran over people at the parade. That was predicted. South Park and Simpsons. The Simpsons been predicting things that happen in our real life, real time things for decades, man. A lot of people don't pay attention to things like that. So, but it's real. It's out there. It's real. It's right there in our faces.
Just hitting a completely separate note, or it's on tangent. Crypto. Have you heard of Hex?
Yeah, I've heard of Hex. I've never invested in it. It got to the point. Look at, I'm really big on like market caps. Right. So.
Oh, is that been you? Has that been you in my chats asking about that? Are you in my? No, you're not on my D Live streams, are you? No.
No, not under crypto.
You got to come over to D Live and join us on a Wednesday. We do crypto streams, but I've had someone always hitting me saying the market cap of Hex is why I don't invest in it. And yeah, I was talking about that, or we were talking about it, and we were talking about how different exchanges list a market cap differently. And if the metric market cap is so relevant, how come it can be different across different exchanges? And that was kind of where that's where that conversation sort of stopped, I suppose. But
CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap is one of my two go-to resources to find out good intel on certain currencies.
But you are aware both of those websites are paid to shill certain coins, right? You're fully aware of that. Like they hold big bags of each of the coins that they put up there on their page.
Oh, like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko?
Totally. All the exchanges are being... It's like pay to play on the radio stations. They get paid to put the songs on the radio. So therefore, the top 100 songs, they're not the top 100. They're the top 100 that got paid to be played. Right. Same kind of thing. That's how I understand it anyway. And by the way, my journey in crypto is pretty new. I'm only just over a year, I guess, in total. But yeah, it's an interesting discussion. I guess what I really want to find out from you is if now that we know a little about your history and the family and the unfortunate situation, what will it take for you? Like, I want to put this delicately because it is delicate, because you have had a loss in your family. Where would you have to be, in what position in life would you have to be for you to just take the jab? Like doesn't even sound right asking you, but I bowed to it because they said you're in a separate area from the rest of your family, and if they're jabbed and you're not, you're the weak link, and therefore they can't come to see you. And that was the equation. It's like, well, you're holding out, and I wasn't holding out like you were for the devil and the scientists all being evil. I was holding out because I'm not ill. I don't have any symptoms of any disease. Why do I need to get a vaccination? I'm not going to Southeast Asia where I could get bitten by a mosquito. I'm just staying here. So why should I? Because they're coming to you. Okay, then I don't want to not see them. So hit me up. What would be the equation for you, or a similar? How could you, if you were to sort of look 10 moves ahead in a game of chess, where would you be at that point where you said, okay, fine, hit me up?
Well, one thing about me, man, when it comes to chess, I will drag that game out, and it's going to be a stalemate. Nobody's going to win.
Oh, really? It's going to be no one can move?
Nobody can move.
You're a good chess player then.
Yes, sir.
I love chess. I haven't played it in many, many years, but I used to have a housemate who smoked a lot of weed, and he taught me how to play chess from me not knowing anything to me slowly getting good, and then beating him, and then him stopping smoking and me still beating him, and then him saying, I'm not playing against you anymore, over the course of 2.5 years. Yeah. In the 90s. I haven't played since, really.
What I found? Go ahead.
So honestly, you would be in a standoff with the authorities, and it wouldn't come down to you ever getting the jab. There'd be a standoff, because that sounds like it's going to end in a violent scenario.
Definitely. That's where it's going to get to that one day. It's going to get worse before it get better, man.
For you
Believe that.
personally? For you personally?
For all of us, it's not, man. No, most of the entire town where I live at is unvaxxed, man.
So
And
you're so if I understand correctly, you're gonna hold off. You're never getting jabbed,
no.
and you will die for that.
So I will, once I leave this earth, I will leave without that in my body.
Wow. And you're laughing about that. You were giggling there. What was the humor there? That doesn't sound funny to me.
It's well, I do everything with a smile, man. So if somebody was to hit me in my face, I'm gonna smile because they got something messed up in their head, and I like to basically murder people with kindness, man. It's just how I am.
Okay. I mean, some people might argue that laughing in the face of death is like a coping mechanism. So maybe you haven't fully addressed the situation, so therefore you dismiss it with laughter. That's just how some people might read that.
Yeah, I mean that's fine because what another man's thoughts really doesn't matter, but
Okay. What about if someone in your family was pressuring you, similar to my situation, pressuring you to get jabbed, and they got jabbed?
It's continuously that's already happened.
Oh, so you've already felt that internal pressure from within the family.
Yeah, but it won't work.
So, without trying to,
I have family members. We have friends and family already died from the vaccine as well. I don't know anybody unvaccinated that's died from COVID.
Okay, so you don't know anyone who's died from the virus, but you've known people that have died because of the vaccine in your family.
Yeah, but it's been spun to say they died because of this or died because of that, but we know that most likely it was because they had their vaccines. And speaking of vaccines, and I want to speak on the Moderna one just specifically because that's one of the main ones that people that I know have taken. You can go to the Moderna website, navigate to the vaccine, navigate to the ingredients. The ingredients page is like 64 pages long. So you just go to the little search bar on there and start typing in Lucifer. One of the ingredients in there is called luciferase or something like that. You type that in Google, find out what luciferase is. It's some type of bio something. So basically what that is, so it's a thing that's in your body that when you put over, like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese or go somewhere where you have a stamp or something and you put a LED light or UV light to see if you have it. So that's what that ingredient is. So why are they putting something in your body for somebody to be able to put something over your body one day and figure out if you have it or not?
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Are you saying that there's an ingredient in Moderna that reveals itself under a particular light? Isn't that just like, isn't the equivalent of that just saying, well, one chemical reacts a certain way to a certain stimulus, and I'm sure there's chemicals that react differently to all kinds of different stimuluses. Right.
So there go the scapegoat. That's called an scapegoat.
No, isn't that just fact though? Like if you put a magnet on top of another a magnetic element, that would stick to it. There's nothing sus about that. It's just how that element responds to this element. It's like water and oxygen. They respond differently to each other. It's like when you strike a match, the flint becomes ignited. That's just how chemicals react. Just because one of those chemicals is inside a vaccine doesn't mean it's put there to then every time someone walks under a certain color light, it glows that color. That would be stupid. That's like saying, and this is a good argument too, by the way, this is like saying back in the early 80s when they put backmasking into metal music to make it so that people could hear devil worshipping messages in heavy metal music, but you got to play it backwards. It's like, well, what 13-year-old kid in the 80s has a tape deck that plays cassettes backwards? Nobody. So all these people are saying that heavy metal music was evil because it was, you played it backwards and you heard you Satan, and it sounded like someone saying worship Satan. First of all, it's an exaggeration to get to that point, but then second of all, maybe 0.00002% of the population is ever going to hear it. So what's the point? That's the argument with that. Like, just because the reaction is there and it's in that vaccine doesn't mean it's there for a nefarious reason. It probably is a certain chemical reaction that compounds with another chemical that then goes on to fight some of the cells that they're looking to fight for. What? We're not scientists. I don't pretend to be. But that's what I'm seeing with that. But to say it's for tracking whenever you go under a light, then at that point, you probably should throw your Android phone away, because that's tracking you everywhere you go.
Exactly. Yep, that's true. But the difference between the phone and the shot is the phone I have here on my hand is not in my body, and the vaccine isn't nowhere inside of my body. So that's the biggest difference with that.
I mean, if you're gonna say that vaccine is in your body and it's running around, your phone is emitting radio signals that are right next to your brain.
Yeah, the radio signals and cause headaches and stuff. Yeah,
it's the same scenario. I think that's a stretch to say that, to try to like dig into the ingredients, unless you're scientifically knowledgeable to the degree of whatever that compound is and how it reacts with all the other compounds. I don't pretend to be, because I'm not a scientist. I'm just going to let them do the science, and I'll just continue living. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, even if they were doing that to track you, have you done anything wrong at that point? Like, unless you're going out and stealing and then going and selling the goods on the black market, what are you worried about? You haven't done anything wrong. Like, you can track me all day. I'm going to go surfing. If the waves are good, well, have a good time tracking me. See how good I go surfing. And the only people that should be worried about that are the freaking criminals that are doing the wrong thing. And then I say, bring it on. Track those pricks.
Yeah, but it's not just them.
Yeah,
unvaccinated people, and like I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't fear these people. I fear nothing but God, but they're going to continue to attempt to do what they got to do. But when it comes to the vaccine stuff, and one of the biggest things is with me being unvaccinated and a lot of my family and friends being unvaccinated, is that we have groups that's going to be coming after us one day. And a lot of people don't.
Who are those groups? The vaccinated?
The UN. The New World Order.
United Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, that's already happened, though. They're already coming for you to force you to get the vax.
Yeah, it hasn't happened in America yet. I know it's happening in other countries.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not denying that. I'm just saying it doesn't really affect me. I got the jab. I can see my sister and my family. I can go interstate for this job on Tuesday. I'm happy for that. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, man. Like you said, man, as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
Perdsky, not even the solo shot can track Venom. Dude, I've got another one. I'm about to buy one oddly enough, from an American who's going to send it out to me. But yeah, it's a different story. But funny point.
I want to ask, because you brought up, because you got the two now, and then you brought up that if they keep trying to give you over and over again, that you'll eventually deny it. I guess my question to you is, why would you eventually deny it then?
Yeah,
and if you are to deny, are you prepared for what they're trying, what they will do?
That's a fair question, and something that I haven't really given like the full. I haven't analyzed it. Yeah, because I'm reluctant to be in that position. I'm frightened of when that happens, because ultimately, if it came down to the same scenario that it did this time, I'd probably bend over and say, okay, give it to me. If it means I can't see Poopsie, she's my 6-year-old niece. She'll be 7, 8, 9 as she grows up. The other kids are turning 18, 17. If I can't see them, then jab me, and I'll bend over at the same time to do whatever you got to do, right? If you're going to put that pressure on me, then of course I'm going to bow over to it. But I'm not rushing out for your booster. Like I said with this thing, I said, I'm not taking these until I absolutely 100% have to take it. And I got in a lot of crap. Like it wasn't, there was times in my situation where it was like, come on, man, just do it. Like, what are you doing? Why are you delaying? Go. And then I had to bring it forward. I got my first one, and then I got more pressure. We want to come and visit, so bring the second one forward. And I'm like, well, they gave me the appointment for the 22nd of November. Bring it forward. And I'm like, oh, the doctor said the 22nd. No, bring it forward so we can come and hang out. So I went and did that as well. And then ironically, I went to get it, and they said, you can't do it. We can only do it on a certain day. And I'm like, excuse me? this whole country is like, go and get vaxxed, go and get vaxxed. And I've walked in here and they've said to me at the medical center, we can't jab you today. It's only done on Mondays. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But that's just the way it is. But yes, good point. What will it take? I think Crypto had to split for a second. Maybe he ran out to get jabbed. What will it take for the second and the third, or the third and the fourth and the boosters and all that crap? Probably the same that it took this time. More than likely, it'll be the same situation. I'll have to make a decision based upon what's going down in my immediate surroundings, how it's directly affecting me, and how reluctant I am, or how much I want to affect those around me. Essentially, how selfless do I want to be? That's what it is. Yeah. John, I'm back. How's the conversation with Crypto Team going? It's going well. I'm shocked how many people have contracted it here. It looks like Crypto had to split. No worries, dude. He just had to bail. No probs. I guess we should wrap this up anyway, but he did fall off the connection there. I didn't bump him off. He just left. But that Crypto, I understand, dude. If you had to split quickly, you got family duties and whatnot. Just put a chat message in, and I thank you for your time, man. This is what I wanted to do on this particular stream today, was just to have a conversation. In fact, I'll bump off there, Crypto. I'll bump out, and we will get back. Yeah, we'll bump off there. But Crypto, if you do come in here again, thank you so much for your time. Very, very kind of you to give us that conversation. Very kind of you to be here with me. I do love a good, deep conversation. That's what I wanted for this stream. I didn't know we'd go down the avenue we did. I didn't know this would be the way that the conversation would roll, but I appreciate you giving me your time to come out here, put your face up on camera and have a conversation. What I see a lot in my streams is people come out swinging with all these comments and all these facts. Yet when I say, hey, do you want to come on and express this? They're like, oh, no. I'll just be a force in the chat clinking away on the keyboard. But Crypto, that's how he wants to be known. Crypto came out here, gave himself on camera to put up his conversation, his comments. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So in the chat, good fella, how you doing, man? Late to the party. What's up, Gibbs? G'day, good fella. How you doing? There he is, Crypto Team. Phone call had come in. Sorry, guys. Understood, man. Hey, and by the way, Crypto, I do this stream every week on YouTube, but I do daily streams on DLive every day. Well, actually, it's coming up to a strange time because I've got this interstate stuff to do, but I'll be doing a lot of IRL content. Be good to see you around. You seem like a pretty genuine, pretty decent guy. Think you've got some good conversations. I think there's more in there for me and you to have a chat. So what I'm saying is anytime, dude. Anytime. Healthy 40, 50-year-old man. Me too. I do that with my best buddies' friends. Sorry, I missed the chat. No worries, Maurice. No worries. No worries. It's all good. But I gotta, funnily enough, speaking of governments, I gotta go and vote today. There's an election on, and I've gotta go and vote. And also, the swell is getting large in the afternoon, or it's getting, right now the swell is like, can't even see it. It's like the virus. Can't see it. We know it's there. I gotta go surfing. If there's gonna be waves later on, I'm gonna go surfing. I will be on DLive later on today. I'm on DLive right now, but this is just because I wanted to put this out far enough that people would receive it and come in for a chat. Turns out we had Crypto come in, and he wasn't from DLive. So I was reaching out to DLive and to Twitter and Twitch and Trovo, and the person who came on came from YouTube. So again, Crypto, thanks, dude. And thanks everybody in the chat. Thank you, Charlotte Rose, for the super chat. That's very, very kind of you. I will be on DLive later on this afternoon. We'll be talking about things and having a good time. I'll see you all there. If not, I'll see you all next time right here. Cheers, ears. Water. Get out of here. Go on.